glad you said that before we started recording.
That's in the bloopers.
The last minute. Got it in the last second.
Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoy the jam. Jammy Jam. Welcome to another edition of the Josh Line Team Podcast, brought to you by
Velocity Lending.
Stuff. Yeah, that's right.
And the Denver Broncos.
Currently, right now, it is the first quarter. 3 minutes left. It's not looking good for you, Broncos, and I'm sorry. Oh, that was cool.
They're not good. That's a good looking jersey, though. Where did you get that?
Oh, you got it for me for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I did.
It doesn't look authentic.
You're welcome.
I'm just kidding.
Well, it's one of the throwback jerseys. That's why it looks a little bit different.
This
guys?
guy's a Cowboys fan.
I am a Cowboys fan. I'm sorry.
His opinion matters less than
Okay,
nothing.
first of all,
Just
you're
saying.
right, but also,
We won a Super Bowl 37 years ago.
I mean, you guys are joining that boat slowly, man. That's all I got to say. Anyways,
We
we're not,
won
we're
one
not,
5 years ago.
See, that's how we started, man. And then 20 years later, we're still saying it.
Yeah, well, you're probably right because we are not good.
Ooh, it's rough. But anyways, we're here to talk about happy stuff and not really depressing things that are happening in
And
Colorado.
loans.
And loans. So, yeah, let's talk about loans, you guys. Let's talk about the biggest reason why you guys do not work at a bank and you guys do your own thing.
I like that. So you want to talk about why brokers are better?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
We'll talk about that all day.
I'm not saying that, like that banks are bad, but you guys are better.
100%.
Absolutely. So yeah, Josh, I'm gonna scoot you over here a little bit more.
I told you, I'm totally not in the film.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, that's better.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. All right, so why are brokers better? Give me the biggest reason as to why that is.
I mean, the biggest reason, in my opinion, is...
I want Dakota's opinion, but you to say it though.
Gotcha. Fair enough. The biggest reason I think so is just the flexibility that we have with selecting products, being able to take someone's scenario to multiple different places and not just being taken to one place and being told no.
So Dakota, what is a broker?
A broker is somebody who, like Josh said, has options. So as a broker, you can sign up with multiple different lenders who each have their own different guidelines, minimum credit scores, mortgage insurance rates, interest rates, different loan products. So, some have a bank statement loan that can get you qualified if you don't qualify off your tax returns if you're self-employed. And if you go with a direct lender or a bank, they are set to their rules and their guidelines. Yeah, it would not cutthroat, but it's cut and dry.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Is the correct term. Where they have their specific rules and guidelines that you have to stick with, whereas we have the ability to say, okay, they don't fit into these certain parameters, but can they fit into these?
Gotcha. So pretty much what I'm hearing right now is that there's options, right?
Correct.
And instead of just being like, oh, you're SOL, like this is.
Yeah,
this is we can give you more opportunities and more options to get, not even approved, but just the right system or the right program that's benefiting you, and that's necessarily just we're here to just make money off of whatever we can offer instead of like. I guess I'm not explaining that correctly.
No,
but.
I mean you are. I mean, essentially, we can make sure that we're doing the shopping for the clients. So even if it's a cut and dry loan, where it's not like we have to dive into some type of loan program that doesn't fit conventional or FHA, we can just look at interest rates and say, okay, well this lender is pricing 0.25% better than this lender. Obviously, we're going with lender B because their pricing is better.
And then also, doesn't that make it where like the companies that you're working with like more competitive to just give you guys a better program to kind of sign up with too?
Correct.
At the same time?
Correct. So I mean, obviously the lenders have to earn our business. It's not like we're just stuck with them where if we need even if we're like, hey, I don't know what to do with this loan, can you help me out with the income? At places that I've worked at before, it would take a week and a half just to get an income calc, where now we'll get them back in 2 to 3 hours because they're competing for our business, which obviously is better for the consumer. Because as we know, like with competition, it brings out the best in everybody.
It seems like there's like an advantage to that in a sense of just like, kind of like reiterating it is like a competitiveness with the company. Because it's not as if these companies go up to you and they're just kind of like, hey, what the heck, man? Like, why haven't you used this? It's like, It just
It does. It goes back to why are your rates worse than everybody else? You know, like that you're going after our business at the end of the day, and it doesn't work that way with direct lenders. Direct lenders, it's their money, it's their backing, and so they get to set whatever pricing that they want to on their interest rates, which could at the end of the day really not help people out or not help people get the best deal.
Yeah, well, I called a lender that we were looking to get set up with, and her sales pitch was absolutely absurd. When I called her, and she's like, well, we're not going to be the best rates out there. So if you're wanting the best rates, don't use us. We're strictly relationship building. And she even gave a couple of the lenders' names. Like, they're going to be 0.25% a rate better than us. I'm like, then why would I even attempt to it? Because you have to have good rates and great service. That's what makes us the best, in my opinion. And so to say the least, we didn't get set up with them.
Well, I also think that it also comes down to just like, at the end of the day, like the person who has like the ultimate power to say something is the person buying the house, right?
Yep.
Like, it is one of those things where it's like, you're not going to be like, well, hey, like this person's going to have like a rate higher, but their relationship with you is going to be awesome. It's like, dude, yeah, but also I'm not going to talk to you on a weekly basis.
Right.
It's one of those things where it's like, I probably won't talk to you until like the actual like payment's done, or,
the best thing that we can do is present options and then let people choose.
Which I think ultimately says a lot about your guys' company and the way you guys want to, feature things, in the sense of you care about the person. You don't care about making the money as much as you care about the person getting a good deal on their end, right? Like where it's not going to break the bank on their end, or put them in a situation where they're kind of like not in the right spot. So I think it does. I think what a broker honestly helps with is just finding that right, like I said, that right rate or that right program that's going to be beneficial for the buyer, not so much like a benefit for you guys, right?
Right. And the thing with it too is the broker channel is growing, and I think that might be my phone. So I apologize, guys.
Slacker.
And it's growing for a reason. It's growing because it's
potential spam.
Yep. Glad it
was me.
I'm glad that iPhone came out with that little feature, because that has saved me.
100%. But lost my train of thought there. But anyway, so I mean, what we can always do is what's best for the client. So that's the whole point of us doing it. And if it doesn't make sense, we're not going to do it. We're going to make sure we're giving them the options to do it. Again, I'm very competitive and I love competition, and that's why the broker channel is the best, is because the competition's fierce out there and people are fighting for our business. We're not just handing it to them. Also, Teddy Bridgewater just threw a pick in the end zone, because Teddy Bridgewater is a horrible.
He's not horrible.
Horrible.
He's not horrible. You guys' play calling is terrible. Anyways, again, we're not here to be sad. We're here to talk about good things. Actually, speaking of good things, when I went golfing with so I got invited to go golfing at the Gurley Country Club about a month ago.
Good course.
And I hate that course. I'm a lefty, so anything that faces the road, it's the roast. Yeah. But actually, someone actually I brought you up, and actually, Tom, like, yeah, like I actually ended up like talking to Josh. We didn't end up using him, but he's like, anyone that I actually would love to have in that situation, like I would send him his way, just because it is one of those things that like, he was just being upfront with us and honest about like what we could offer, and like if it didn't work out for us, like it's fine. But
anybody who knows me, I'm very blunt and very upfront about pretty much everything. It's just especially with loans, and what's the best for you.
Yeah, I mean, we even had somebody today where they checked in to see if a refinance would make sense, and it was only going to save them like $90 a month, but they told us that they were probably planning on selling their house in the next 6 to 7 years. Yeah. And even saving that $90 a month for the next 6 to 7 years did not make sense, because the overall cost of doing the refi was going to be more than saving that $90 a month.
And that's the thing is, like, I think I've mentioned this in like the older podcasts out there, that I've been looking to like purchase a car, right? And my thing is like, I've been like weighing the options, and it's like, I just go to a dealership and just see like what they can offer me. Mm-hmm. But there is that stigma of just like, they don't care about like that. They just care about selling the car.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think that's one big stigma that we want to break with this podcast, is just you guys understanding that, while yes, like buying a house is a big endeavor, we want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, or they're doing the right thing, because I'm not doing anything besides looking pretty. But
I do think that back in 2008, 2009, lenders were like used car salesmen. They literally, like, if you had a heartbeat, you were going to be able to get a home loan.
Yeah.
Like, it really was not tough. And now it's a little bit different. It's a lot of it different, but we have to go through so many steps of verifications and calculating income and making sure you have enough money, and it's just totally different than that. It's not sales anymore as much as it is being able to explain everything and make sure that everybody understands what's going on when they're buying a house.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously we're talking about the difference between brokers and direct lenders and banks, but like what we do with every client, and I know we've talked about in podcasts in the past that we're no longer available, but we're meeting with every single one of our clients. We're taking our time to go through the steps and the process. And I mean, the last 3 conferences I've had have been about an hour and 10 minutes long, just explaining to them, what your options are. And I mean, one of the gals she's probably a year or so away from me being able to even buy a home, but we still wanted to explain to her why and what she can do in order to be ready in a year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. That means a lot to me. Like I said, I'm terrified of going to a car person and be like, hey, I'm looking to buy a car. Like, what are my options? Like, even without even trying to buy a car there, I've been to friends and they're just kind of like, you should just do this and do this. I'm like, that's not what I want to do though. Like if my option doesn't work, just tell me it doesn't work. Like don't beat around the bush with me. Just tell me like exactly what you think is going to benefit me, but not under your agenda, like under mine. Because 30 years, I mean, whatever, I guess your average price for like a home is like 30 years, right?
Yeah, the average, I mean, the loan terms, 90% of the ones that we do, especially when you first buy a home, are 30 years.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of like, that's a long-term investment, man. That's something you have to think about and make sure you're doing the right options. So make sure you guys give I can't talk right now. Make sure you give these guys a call. That's what I meant to say. And where can they do that at, Dakota?
They can do that at 970-460-6677.
And if they want to visit you, where can they go?
www.nocolending.com.
And then if it's physical?
Oh, our address at our office? Yeah. Oh, okay. It's 422 Main Street in Windsor, Colorado.
We nailed all 3 of those, you guys. But thank you guys again for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. I think we're also on all that fun stuff. So we'll be posting videos.
We also have a TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Josh has the TikTok. And
I do not. Hannah has the TikTok.
Well, Josh is the guy who
the Josh Lyon team has a TikTok.
Have you messed with TikTok at all?
No, I mean, Hannah has. I haven't.
I guess. I've always had this theory. It's like you're either in your 50s and older and have TikTok, or you're still in your 20s and have TikTok. But if you're like our age group, 30s, 40s, we're just kind of like...
You mean 29?
Don't you age me?
I said 30s, 40s, man. We're somewhere in between that.
I'm old.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoy this one. Make sure you guys follow us and you'll hear about these more podcasts more often. In the meantime, you guys enjoy yourselves. We hope the Broncos can... by the time this airs, that they actually won this game, but
they won't.
It's not looking too good, but it's fine. I'm not a Broncos fan, so I can't really say anything.
I mean, you can. They're bad.
Yeah, but it's fine. Anyways, bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.